just marketing companies all the time are selling this narrative that they can get you quick get rich scheme results with not only your website but with everything else about marketing. And what's so interesting is that this is not just a marketing thing, but it's this big lie being sold in the entrepreneur world that just creating anything online translates to easy money. And the way I'm able to come to this conclusion is that it's just articles are everywhere online that says like 3 simple ways to automate your processes, or just some stupid headlines like that that are total lies. Like, and this is not just from random website articles. This is from Forbes. Forbes has a post that I saw recently, which is just comical, where they say 17 ways you can make money right now. And they go into detail, brief detail about how you could make money selling your photos. Okay. Then creating how-to videos. Oh yeah, right now, money, how-to videos. And become a copywriter. Just become one. You just say you're a copywriter, then go for it. Or, turning your interest into podcasts, because we both know that the millions of podcasts that are out there, they're all making money, right? No, of course not. And then one of the other ones is try drop shipping. What do you mean try? Were you not sure about this when you put it on the article that it would work? This is one out of so many articles out there that are telling you that you can just flip a switch to make money. And this is just such a giant, we all know that you don't just flip a switch and suddenly make money. You guys know this. You had to work your butts off to try and get the business that you're getting right now. And so I go into this little deep dive because the real purpose of a website is that it's a long-term investment for long-term compound results. And probably there's so many little details about what you can do on a website well or not to optimize it. That's why we have our whole website team that helps to create a best practice WordPress website, so you don't have to worry about that. But I boil it down to really 2 main things with your website here that are just the biggest reasons that you have a great website. One, you invest in SEO. I mean, if a website's not showing up on Google, then it's not showing up for anybody, and you don't get any leads that way. And furthermore, in order to make sure your website is a long-term investment, you have a very clear, great, no-brainer offer. A reason when someone new is checking you out on Google, reading your reviews, and wants to research you a little more, you make it super easy for them to say, yeah, you know what? Let me just give them a call. That offer looks really good. I just need to call them because it's a no-brainer. I'm almost stupid if I don't call them. Because if you don't have these 2 things, then what happens is you have a beautiful website that some designer made for you for way more money than they should. And it's a beautiful website in the middle of a desert that won't produce any leads for you. And this is often the picture we give, where it's a big billboard in the middle of the woods or desert where no one's going to see it. And so what Jonathan is going to lean into with you guys is the fact that with your website and with anything with your marketing, sure, you can have it rank well on Google, you can show up in front of customers, you can spend thousands upon thousands of dollars a month on advertising, but if it's not captivating people enough to give you a call or fill out a form, it's not worth those dollars. And so, Jonathan, I'm going to let you have a lot of the floor here to really lean into this and walk people through how they can walk away with no-brainers, because for a lot of people, this is a tough topic to figure out.
I should probably unmute before I try to speak. So far, any questions on this? Do you feel like you're currently using the website really the way it should be used? Or are you struggling to just forget this isn't a piece of art? Let's just make sure it's producing. Let's make sure it's producing work for you, and we're really putting the time and the effort in the right place of the business. You all feel pretty good about that? I see a nod. I see a hand here and there. Actually, I didn't really see a hand, but you have to say that every time you ask a question. So,
well, I have a fun question, if I may interrupt. How long I would love to just know if you guys are willing to unmute and just shout me what you think it is. When somebody hits your site, when a new customer hits your site, how long do you think you have to get them to click on the phone number or fill out the form? Are they on your site 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 15 minutes? How long on average do you
10
have?
seconds.
Okay, Andy said 10. Who else has a guess?
Under 30 seconds. Under
Under
30
30.
seconds.
Okay. Well, yeah, you guys aren't too far off. Most studies show that you have around 15 seconds. So in between 10 and 20, we encourage here, we say you probably have less, and you probably have our generation to blame for it. Jonathan, Rudy, and I, it's because of us. We're on our phones, we move really quick. But you have
So yes,
less
it's our
than
fault,
15
guys. We apologize.
blame us. But you have less than 15 seconds. And so that's why if you've gone through a website process with us, if you're getting ready to go through a website process with us, that's why you're going to see us emphasizing your header, the header text, your no-brainer offer, having a schedule now button, having a mobilely compliant site, having a phone number. We're going to be way more concerned about that than your About Us page, your services page, or how aesthetically artistic or different your site looks. Why? People don't really give a crap. People are going to care of, why should I stay on this site, or why should I fill out the form or click on the phone number? That's the whole point of the site anyways, is to get them to take action. And so what Jonathan Root is about to bring us through is really the most effective piece for your site. This is the number one thing that's going to get somebody to either fill out the form or click on the phone number.
absolutely. Well, here's the title I worked on really hard for, no-brainer offer. But I want to get into a few things. So first off, when you're talking about no-brainer offers, you have to have a photo of a brain. This is a brain. And
Wow.
that's it. Okay, now here's my real slide. Okay, so I want to talk to you about the purpose of a no-brainer offer. So this is really important because there may be situations where maybe having a real aggressive no-brainer offer at all times doesn't always make the most sense. Let's start with this. A no-brainer offer is really meant to make an offer so good that a customer can't refuse. Ideally, it's putting you in front of customers you wouldn't have otherwise been in front of if it wasn't for that offer. If I've coached you for any amount of time, I've probably already told you about my example I think about all the time. Is one moment I was thinking about, should I go with Apple Music or Spotify? And turns out Apple Music was running a deal, a no-brainer offer, really. It was, I think it was 3 months for $1. And I think that was 7-8 years ago now, maybe more. And they've had my money ever since. So that's the kind of no-brainer offer that's so important. If they weren't offering that, I probably would have been stuck on Spotify. And anybody really passionate about Apple Music or Spotify? Someone's got to shout one of them. Darren, are you saying that you don't use either of them?
Pandora.
There you go. And their no-brainer offer is how about, actually, I does it cost money? It's there you go. It doesn't cost money. So that's a great offer too. So there's a product out there for everyone. Main thing here is this is something you want to think about. If you're on top of Google and you have a customer, a website visitor checking out your website, and then they quickly check out the next competitor or two next to you, the only thing separating from you and them is the no-brainer offer. It's the compelling reason to give you a call immediately. So you can be on the top of Google everywhere, but if they don't have a compelling reason to actually take action, give you that call, fill out the form, they're just going to move on to the next person. So being on top of Google is important. It's the only way to be seen, but we want when people to see you to take action. So that's why it's so important. Like we just talked about, people are jumping from website to website within 11.5 seconds. They need a reason. So no-brainers are absolutely necessary if you're wanting, very important, if you're wanting to maximize your lead intake. So if you're in a position right now, yes, I absolutely I want more leads, and I want every opportunity I can get for more leads, and just give them to me, then this no-brainer is for you, and you've got to have one, and you've got to have a good one. So how do you create a no-brainer? Let's talk about that. The offer actually has to be compelling. What do I mean by this? It's not, we don't want a cute $2 off your burger kind of coupon. I get those in the mail, and I don't remember the last time I went to Burger King because of one of those. You know, all to you, but it doesn't work on me. To me, it's a brainer here. You got to make sure it's actually compelling, and you've got to be honest with yourself. Really get good at putting yourself in the shoes of the customer and ask yourself, if I'm comparing this offer with the other competitor's offer, is it obvious that I'm going to call this person first? Hopefully you. You know, if you're both offering free estimates, what's that going to do for you? Are we having a real compelling offer in there? We're going to talk more about the details of these offers and how to really maximize that. And I want to hear from a few of you. But next thing is, when you're creating a no-brainer, you have to make sure it's applicable to most of your customers. If you have a no-brainer offer that's simply relevant to 1/10 of your customers or visitors, it just doesn't make sense. You're not maximizing your ability to get customers. So if you have, here's an example of this. If I have a no-brainer for this one specific service, let's say basement remodeling, but there's people who want kitchen additions, bathroom, or whatever that might be. You're narrowing down your ability to get leads from that no-brainer. It's like, well, yes, I really want more basement remodels. Okay, well, why don't you sell that to them once they're your customer, and tell them about that. But let's make sure we capture everyone we can. Let's make sure we compel everyone, every single one of your visitors. You know, another example is like drain cleaning. Now, there's a footnote I want to say about this one, but I know that sometimes a plumber can be in a position where, like, I need more work overall. I need more work. I need more leads. And then they offer this one no-brainer offer for drain cleaning alone, which is okay. But if you really want to maximize your leads, we can't just restrict it to drain cleaning alone. And I say this because, you know, I have a client who's like, hey, I'm really passionate about drain cleaning. I actually don't want more work, but I'm okay with more drain cleaning calls. I was like, okay, that makes sense. That's okay. But if you really want to maximize your leads, you've got to have a no-brainer that applies to everyone. Next thing is, you got to test it for a few weeks, refine it as necessary. So you can try something. You're not stuck with anything. You are the author of your no-brainer. You decide when it ends, when it starts. You figure it out. You can refine it. You're not stuck with anything. We're going to talk more about how to really set up some guardrails here. That's important. Test it out. You're not stuck with it. And then refine it. If you're experiencing certain problems, change it. Next one is, you really want to determine the primary goal of your no-brainer offer. Here's what I mean by this. Here's an example. A remodeling contractor will have a completely different kind of no-brainer that a plumber would. What I mean by this is, when a plumber, when they win over a customer, that customer is most likely going to use that plumber many, many times again in the future. So it's about making that initial investment with the plumber for your first job. Sometimes you're even okay with breaking even on that job with that no-brainer offer, because they're going to use you over and over and over again. With the remodeler, there's a big chance that even though you win over the customer and they love you, you know, the first bathroom remodel for free model isn't going to work very well because they may not need another one. At least I hope they won't. So in this case, it's all about encouraging that prospect, that lead, to get into your pipeline, and from there you can decide, hey, do we want to move forward with them? But you've created a no-brainer offer that allowed them to be interested in reaching out to you in the first place. Someone that I'm really proud of here is, I don't know if they're on the call or not, but if you are, just shout. I think if they are here, they probably won't shout. But so it's a remodeling company in Navarre, Florida, and they do free 3D renderings with each estimate. And that can be easily $300 value, if not $600 or $700, depending on how big this estimate is. And that's a very compelling no-brainer offer. You get to see it, you get to experience it in a 3D rendering, even before you commit to anything. Is that pretty compelling to some of you here? Do you want to go ahead and give them a call right now? All right, Nicole will. So got to determine the nature of your no-brainer offer. What I mean by that, short summary, is you've got to make sure that you're defining what is the goal. That just try to get them into the pipeline, or am I sacrificing a little bit in my first job so I can win them over as a customer forever? It depends on your business model. All right, and then I'd really want to emphasize this, because this has happened to me several times. You may already have a no-brainer offer. You're doing a poor job making sure customers know about it. And here's what I mean about with this, is that I've talked to clients where they've literally told me, oh, well, with my tune-up, after I do a heating and air seasonal tune-up for you, you're automatically enrolled in our service club, which comes with a 10% discount, and on all service and repairs. You get priority service, and there's actually no after hours fees whatsoever. And they're automatically enrolled with their tune-up. And I was like, beautiful client. Do you realize that typically people are charging an additional $150, $200 a year just so that people can have access to these benefits? They're like, yeah, and I don't want to do that. Hey, that's fine. Either start charging for it, or make sure you put that on your website like yesterday, because this is the kind of offer where someone gets a tune-up and you're over delivering, but it's kind of it's just a cherry on top. It's not the reason they called you, so we really want to make sure we put that offer out there. Another quick example is, I talked to a plumber over in Texas one time, and they said, yeah, I actually don't really ever charge a trip charge. I was like, okay, you've either got to start charging for it, or we got to put that all over your website. Do you see how important that is? Every competitor out there is charging for one. So if you're not going to do it, you've got to put it on your website and advertise that. It's so important. So if you're doing anything crazy, either stop doing it or advertise it. There's no in between. Anybody doing anything crazy right now, you got to stop doing? Okay. If there is, just please let me know. And we'll put it on your website, or your coach may tell you to never do that again. So here's oh yeah, if so, you gotta use it right away. All right, so next thing here is here's a brainer versus a no-brainer offer. Now, if you want to get really technical, maybe there's a scenario in which the one on the left here is a much better deal, but we're not buying $2 candy bars here. If you're buying something for $300 and you get $10 off, is that really compelling to you? I see the head shaking.
No.
Thank you, Harley. What about buy one, get one? Now, okay, you can't just, I know it's easier said than done. There's got to be a time and a place for these offers that makes sense, but
I know Darren's thinking buy one, get one pool, right?
I hope not, but If so, it may be worth the cost of moving in New Jersey, but actually, I don't know if that'll make up. It's a lot more expensive than Oklahoma, but let's, by the way, if anyone's looking for anywhere to move, just come to Oklahoma. It's the prices are great here. The people are great, and I'm here as well. So, but you can see the difference between a brainer and a no-brainer offer. Why don't you, I'd like to hear from a couple of you. What offer do you feel like you're currently offering and you're like, guys, I want some honest feedback. Only ask this if you're ready for the answer. Is this a good offer, or do I need to spice this up a little bit? Or the other camp is I'm not making any kind of offer. I'd love to maximize my leads. And how can I really turn this into something to where I'm getting as many leads from my website as possible? So either don't have a no-brainer offer, or hey, I would like some feedback on this before we get into the next slide. Any thoughts on that?
I have a no-brainer. I do not have a no-brainer offer. We're busy, but I know it's going to slow down. So yes, I'd love to have a no-brainer offer.
Boom.
Who would not answer this question this way? Who would not say this?
Well, I feel like you're probably the one person qualified to not say that because you're so busy right now. But you have a good point. It's not going to stay that way forever, and that's where you want to capture the customers. Absolutely. So Darren, you do pool, building, but also service and all of the above, A through Z. I don't have a pool, but if they had a pool, what would be a really compelling offer to start using Darren?
Free 3D rendering would be pretty cool if I'm looking to get a pool.
To build one, right? Okay, so that's if that's something that you have access to, I would definitely recommend that, because you also talk about those cool natural looking biodesign pools, and if someone saw an example of that, that would really help them see what they're about to buy into.
It would get me pretty emotionally engaged if I were to see one. I'd be way more likely to buy.
I agree with that.
All right, anything else? What about the service side? Hey, I want to start using this amazing aquatic pools company to clean, open, and close my pool.
Shoot, I've had not to hog here, but I'm a first-time pool owner, and this has been a pain point for me, finding a pool company in my area. I've called so many, and they're either booked out, or I've had some pretty negative experiences. One thing is, I never know how much chemical cost is going to be. I would rather somebody have a higher hourly rate and it include chemicals compared to this is our hourly rate plus chemicals, because I would like to be able to kind of gauge the price. I also, I'd hate closing down and opening my pool, and so some type of package deal where if you close it, you pay this amount, we'll come out, we'll close and open your pool, and then we'll also, have a monthly fee that we come out every month and we take care of it, or something like that would be super incentivizing. Or if you sign up for our bi-weekly service or our weekly service, then we'll close down your pool for free at the end of the summer, or something like that would be super compelling to me.
That was the golden feedback I was hoping you'd give, Nicole. Because
that almost sounds like a stress-free maintenance package. You don't even have to
good
think
Lord,
about it.
Just as de-stressing laying by a pool is, keeping one is just, I have to de-stress by the pool because of all the stress the pool gives me to take care of.
That's great.
I was kind of thinking too, if you don't mind, I was kind of thinking if you're trying to get people at a delayed time, you incentivize them to sign a contract later to get the pool done, not by Memorial Day, but by a future date when you're not busy,
You got the finger point. That's a good one, Harley. No, this is the kind of feedback, and I know we're talking about pools specifically, but really ask yourself, how is this applying to my service? And you know, it's just the mentality of, hey, I don't have to commit a bunch of things up front before knowing what I'm going to get, and also just, hey, make it a little easier for me to buy the first time from you so I can stick with you forever. Here are some important considerations though. When creating a no-brainer offer, you have to just protect yourself from that really, really bad situation. And I'm not saying put 6 or 7, you know, layered guardrails around your entire no-brainer offer, so it's something that, you know, someone has to read a contract before even mentioning it.
And
you know,
you definitely don't need the fine print on the homepage of your website. That would make it a brainer if they're having to read through everything right then.
yeah, or you know, if you could like somehow just I don't know. I was going to make a joke, but I just left. So yeah, you've just have to make sure that your fine print here, you know, figuratively, you can't have some on the actual footer of your website, but you don't want to make it, you know, so scary. It's just meant to protect you. So if you're every time I talk about no-brainer offers, everyone is always shouting at me, yeah, but Jonathan, what if someone does this to me? And then that, or this. Well, let's just weigh out the consequences and ask yourself, is this actually going to ever happen? And if realistically, maybe it happens one time, okay, let's make sure this is, you know, it happens too much. Let's protect ourselves from this, or, you know, or just do it up front. You don't want to add so much fine print that it just becomes something that's like exactly what Nicole said. It's just a brainer. It's like, well, you get the free 3D rendering as long as you buy. It's like, what? That's okay. You know, there's got to be some kind of incentive there. Next thing is, if you have so much work, I know we talked about this a little bit already, but if you have so much work you can't handle it anymore, just, you don't have to run your no-brainer offer forever. Just stop it. You know, don't let this be something that's hurting your business. You know, the worst thing for Darren to do in Memorial Day weekend is have a pool cleaning special, right? I mean, could you imagine the nightmare? So that's or even year round, you're just in a season of your business where maybe hiring is more of a concern, and you don't want to have a six leads a day you have to say no to just because of a really nice no-brainer. Next thing is, this is so important. The pause is so important here too. It only works if you truly offer a remarkable experience. What do I mean by this is, well, if I'm a skilled, you know, great looking contractor or really any industry or plumber, and I get them to buy from me the first time because of a really great offer, a no-brainer offer, because it was, I don't know, $100 off the service call with the first time customer. And they experience my service, but if I'm not actually, you know, giving them a superior experience, if I'm actually just another plumber when they actually end up using me, they're going to use just another plumber next time. You know, what stops them from looking for discounts on every time they need a plumber? You are not that company. You offer it one time and you give them a great experience. That means I've dealt with so many contractors here in the last 3 weeks, and I cannot tell you how the office has heard me get really upset over this. I've dealt with people who just don't even look at you in the eyes. They want to argue with you. They literally won't even tell you when they're leaving or showing up. It's
I want to preface this. He's not talking about a client. He's had to deal with contractors that his HOA is sending to him.
My, thank you so much, Nicole.
To preference, these are not clients. This is
personally, as a customer, I'm talking about.
Yes.
And these are none of you guys, and that's why I love you. I was literally thinking, man, I wish so and so was here to help me with this situation, because I know they would handle it real well. So all that to say is, the experience you offer is everything. Just because you got someone in front of you doesn't mean they're yours forever. You got to win them over. I feel like I'm leaving you hanging here on some intangible definition of experience. Can a coach help me with that? What does that mean to really give someone a great experience?
Yeah. So if you know, we have quite a few plumbers, service companies, they typically charge a trip fee because that's going to cover your gas if somebody doesn't move forward. A good no-brainer offer is that your trip fee will be waived if you decide to do work. Or for new customers, it's a $1, trip fee for your first job. And so that incentivizes them to use you while it also locks them in. They do have to spend $1. It's not going to be free, so that kind of covers your tail. But that is going to bite you in the butt. If one, we're showing up late. If two, we're not having a sales process. If three, we're not being personable. Those no-brainer offers, you're going to have somebody call you out, use you once, and then never call you back. If you show up late, you're not personable. If you don't actually have a sales process where they're really seeing that you are a white glove service, you're a premium service. Let's say you are a little bit more expensive than the other guy, or maybe it's simply that you're just charging what you should and your competitors are not. They're not keeping up with inflation. That no-brainer offer might get somebody to your, might get you to somebody's door, but they might not use you again unless you are really selling the value that you are bringing. One thing that Jonathan talked about earlier in this meeting is a lot of times clients do offer a lot of value. They're just not communicating it. Oh yeah, by the way, we only use materials from blank, blank, blank companies, and they also have manufacturer warranties and they're time tested. Oh yeah, you also have most people just offer a 1-year warranty on their labor. We have a 5-year warranty. The value that your company delivers, unless you're communicating it, nobody knows. And so you might be a little bit pricier than the other guy, but if you are delivering a premium service of value, price doesn't matter. And so you got to make sure that if you're going to have an aggressive no-brainer offer, that you're really delivering that premium service so that you're winning that customer, that client for life. And even if you are a remodeler or a pool builder, referrals in that industry is the biggest moneymaker. That's the best clients. And so even if it's somebody's only going to use you once, that word of mouth value of them giving you referrals is so valuable. And then I think with people who like to remodel homes, I feel like they like to buy a new one every 5 years and start getting that one. And so that no-brainer offer is going to win you a client for life as long as you are delivering that experience that keeps them wanting to come back.
Wow. I literally couldn't have said that better myself because I tried. Yeah, so that's the main thing here is there's a season for a no-brainer. There's and for some people it may be all the time, and some people it may be a limited amount of time, but just make sure that you protect yourself, you give them a great experience, and you just make sure to actually have a compelling no-brainer offer. Now, let's do it now, because that's what it says. Who is in a position here where you have, we're going to go out there and do it, but you're like, man, I really want every single lead I can get. You're not desperate, but you want some more leads. And you don't feel like you, or let's start with the first question. Who's in a position where they would like some more work? They're getting some traffic every once in a while, but they really would like some more work.
I see hands going up. I know he's listening to the call. I just don't see his handsome face right now. But I know Tim, with my plumber, that's something we've been working on right now, is how can we get consistent more work coming in?
Well, the next question I'd have is what is your no-brainer, or do you have a no-brainer? So I'm seeing some.
So
Andy,
we don't.
Oh, Mr. JT.
I'm racking my brain trying to think of something, and every time I think of something, it's not something I'd want to do. So,
well, what are some of your ideas? Just kind of spitball, and maybe we can create something out of that wouldn't be so painful.
I mean, so we've been promoting these inspections. I mean, we could do those for free. but then how much running am I doing for free?
Well, remind me, what's your service?
A plumber.
Oh, there we go. So
So this is my plumber. They're the ones who have been making a lot of calls right now. We sent out an email to their customer database promoting a home safety inspection. He's done quite a few. He's sold quite a few. Right now, Tim, remind me, we charge that fee whether they end up doing work or not. That fee gets charged, correct?
Correct. Yes, it's it's $169 for the inspection, and and if we find any issues, they have to, they pay for the inspection and whatever the issues cost that we find.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing that we could promote on your site is just, a free plumbing inspection for each job. That only takes 15 minutes. It's visible plumbing units. It's not like you're going to be crawling under somebody's home or into their attic to look at something. It's just a visible, but that could be something that we could really promote. And it's something that would be great. I know that there's some days you're too busy to try to do one at every single house. So if we could get into the habit of it, that could be a decent no-brainer offer of, oh, well, this guy's going to come out and they're going to do a plumbing safety inspection for free.
Yeah.
Or you could waive the fee if they decide to do work. That could be options.
Absolutely. And Nicole, side note, when you meant literally their business name is My Plumber.
Literally, their business name is My Plumber. I wish they were My Plumber, but they are all the way over in Ackworth, Georgia, which would be a little bit. I would hate to know what that trip fee would cost to get them all the way to Tulsa.
Pretty pricey trip there.
Yeah.
So there is a chance. So no-brainers or not, are there any other questions here on implementing a no-brainer? And just business questions, things you're dealing with, things that you'd like to hear more about from other customers or other business owners here, or anything you're dealing with right now.
Well, I saw, I don't see his name, but Mr. iPhone there with like the red logo on the back of his truck. He was nodding, trying to figure out what his no-brainer was. Would you mind chiming in? Yeah.
I think you're muted here right now. Here, I got you.
Yeah, I don't have any of those, and it would be pretty good to have my work too, I have no idea what to do, like what to offer. You know what I mean?
What's, I hate to call you Mr. iPhone. What's your name? Yeah, and that's the rejection I've dealt with my whole life. No, I'm kidding.
What's your name and what industry are you in?
Okay, I was on mute, so I didn't listen after they said.
Perfect.
So yeah, I didn't listen after they said. I was on move.
What industry are you in?
Oh, remodeling.
Remodeling.
And what's your name?
Fabio.
Fabio. Good to put a face to a name or name to a face. So Fabio, you do remodeling here, and I guess it sounds like your concern is, well, I'm assuming 3D rendering software isn't just something you pick up in 10 minutes.
No, it's not.
So is that something that you feel like, hey, if I spent some time taking time to learn, that I could see myself doing this? Or are you just like, honestly, that's just not my field. I just don't like to deal with computers at all.
No, that's a good idea, but I just don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah, so you're wanting something a little bit more immediate. Like that'd be
Right.
a lot to learn, maybe at some point, but maybe not right now.
Yep.
I know that on-time guarantees are super big with your industry because everybody wants, they get quoted that their project's going to take them a month and then it ends up taking 2 months and they are very upset. I know that some of that's out of your control. That's why, like what we said earlier, with you create your own fine print. So we have an on-time guarantee. You know, we are gonna get it done in the time that we quoted. However, change orders that are either unforeseen issues or they're, you know, the customer coming at you with a change order, you know, that's going to change the timeline. But whatever the new timeline is that we agree upon, we will get it done by then. We have an on-time guarantee. And if we don't get it done by then, we'll dock $100 off of your ticket for, you know, every 2 days or every day that we're behind, whatever it is. But on-time guarantee would be really great for you. If you also offer a pretty big warranty, you know, hey, we offer a 10-year labor warranty, meaning, or workmanship warranty, whatever you want to call it. But on the quality of work that we do, we warranty it for 10 years. The other guys, I'm sure as heck, don't do that, you know, and so that would be a pretty good incentivizing reason to want to go with you.
Right, that would be a great example for an on-time guarantee where you'd have to add your fine print. I've heard this before. It's like, well, we can't control the weather. It's like, okay, so just kind of work around that, you know, or I can't, you could say, you know, we're not responsible for supply delays because you aren't, you know, that's not something that should fall on you. So yeah, I know that CNR Contracting in Colorado Springs does that, and they've closed deals on this on-time guarantee, and for, you know, and set yourself up for success. You know, if you're not sure you can really deliver on that, then you know, make sure you use a time frame you can.
Give yourself a little cushion. Anybody else having a hard time with their no-brainer, their current no-brainer just don't feel like it's working very well, maybe let's audit it, or they just don't have one, or if anybody has questions that are outside of the no-brainer offer of the website, we'd love, you know, to answer those for you as well. Tim, it looks like your little man has a question. Do you have a question? He's the cutest little thing.
He's actually the boss, so you know.
Got it. He's running the show.
Yeah, he does what he.
I could tell there was someone behind the scenes making decisions there. I was like,
yep. Hi.
Can you say hello?
Raspberries.
Yeah, there's a raspberry.
Raspberries. Eating some raspberries. Love that. Raspberry. Any other questions here today? We've got about 13 minutes left, so we can probably answer a couple here if anybody has any. Going once, going twice. Well, if anybody's having questions on why Rudy and I are both glowing in our office, it's because our office, and just ours, in our building, has no airflow in it. And so it is smoldering in our office right now. The HVAC guys are coming out, but that is why we are glistening with a glow here today. But
she's not lying.
All right. Well, we close things down the same way every single time. And so I'm going to ask everybody to unmute. Oh, thank you, Robert. If you could just fan us, that would be good. So if everybody could unmute here, I'm going to have Rudy close us on out the same way we always do.
Tim, I'd love to hear your little one on this, but all right, it's going to be growth on 3. Unmute your mics. Count to 3. That's 1, 2, 3.
Growth.
Oh.
Raspberry.
Raspberry. All right. See y'all
Have
later.
a great weekend, everybody.
Yes. Bye, guys. Have a great week.
So